here to do a quick flip through of my September planner that I actually used. I know I dressed up August, but I didn't end up doing it at all. But September was a awesome month, got so much done, feeling so much better. And so, yeah, I have some things to flip through and actually show how I used them, and hopefully it can inspire somebody else. I ended the month in this adorable, just squishy as all get out, Ophelia cover from Chic Sparrow. It's the current hides they have right now apparently are far more blonde, and a beautiful addition to the collection, and it's so nice. So I ended in this, and it goes beautiful with the colors of the whole month. I did decorate my pockets, got a new pin of a TWSBI Don't Touch My Pen magnetic. I changed where I'm keeping my main writing pen. Cocoa Daisy isn't doing a pen each month, so that way we can use our stash. In my case, that just means I can go back to my, I went back to my Clenna pen, but then I was having trouble with my Clenna pen and my pen loop, and I ended up getting one of these Uniball, the earth toned little sleek pens. I happen to have it in a stash, just a Jet Pens impulse buy essentially. Oh my gosh, it fits the pen nib insert that I replaced my Cocoa Daisy pen inserts with, and that fit in the Clenna, and so it does fit that. It comes apart right in the middle, but there's no rubber grip on this one like the Clenna pen, and so it goes into the pen loop super easy. And that was my main switch. It feels lovely. I've been loving it. I actually went and bought way too many of them, a bunch of different colors, so that way I'm all prepared for future months for it. This kind of earthy green teal went great with the September colors, so it was just a match made. But then I moved my pen loop. It's just a little clip with an elastic on it. It's something that I've worked on trying to make a few of for my shop that we'll see if it ever happens. But I made some for me, and then I decided to clip it here on the inside because I was having some trouble with where my tabs and my highlighter pen loop, it was just kind of driving me a little crazy, and I adore it. It's working great, particularly with this sleeker pen. But I mean, when it's close, you can't tell. Even this is a very squishy cover, so obviously I can do this and you can see it, but even when it's closed and done, it's not bothersome at all. So there's a little decor, a little bit of change on that. I do have my cover page that I designed for the whole year. I did with my word of the year, which is create, and so this one just has a short little simple quote. It is done on vellum, and that way I do washi tape both sides before I punch it, so it's a little bit more supported because vellum is very thin. And then I just pick a cute paper from the kit, in this case this beautiful floral with bees, and it just makes a nice little backdrop, and I mean, how lovely is that, right? It's so pretty. So that's my opening. We end up going to, oh shoot, I didn't finish my pictures before I did this. Where are my stickers? Well, this is almost a complete flip through. I got my pictures ready. I forgot to put them in here. So I have a few, one more sticker a day, and then I think I might be able to go back and find applicable stickers for this. So this guy, he just cuts right out. It's the 4x6 card, month card from the Cocoa Daisy kits, and then I just go through and pick a sticker of something that sort of happened special that day, and go through. And so I really picked up and have been using this since the 8th. So I was able, that's the whole, even the craft section was setting this up. So I didn't do that first week, but then I realized through pictures and notes, appointment notes and stuff like that of just regular living, I could actually fill them in. So we'll see if I'll fill that in. I definitely have one for the 30th. I just didn't get it put in. But that's always a nice one. And When I don't fill it out, it's always so sad. When I fill it out, it's such a happy, simple little thing. Uses some of my stickers. Kind of silly. Now this spread, this is my monthly page. I print these inserts, and then I do a this happened to be the free paper printable for the month of September. Sometimes I'll just copy one of the papers that comes for it. And I just copy it on plain paper and then stick it to my insert. So it's a little bit thicker, which I find nice. And then this one, I'll raise up a little bit. I do teeny tiny little photos of something fun. And then I go through and I add some stickers and add some writing. It's just basically a very fast little glance of some of the memories of the month. And I have just absolutely been so happy about doing these. This is the one thing I don't, can I say the whole year? Ooh, I had to go look and see, but I did. So June and July, I didn't even set up planners. They were not great months for me. But I did go back and I created this spread for June and July. So I went back, I got the colors, I did the whole thing. And I did do August as well. Like I said, I set up August. I have that flip through video I can tag below. And before the pen flip through of that one. I didn't do a post flip through because I didn't end up using it, and I don't believe I did a pre flip through of this because I started it a little bit later. It just kind of dove right in. But this is just, it ends up being a really fun page spread. The only thing I do pre-set up is my recycle and trash routines, and I will pre-plan some of my laundry days and deep cleaning days with the little mop sticker on sometimes, and then some dates. This will be changing in 2025. I have plans. I'm using my Sterling ink, and they have a couple calendar spreads there, and I'm playing with some of that. And I think I'll end up putting those more chores and to-dos, important appointments. I think I'll end up switching to the calendar month in the Sterling ink. And then I'm debating keeping this spread here or putting that on like a separate with the pictures in there, because I did get another undated quarterly. No, not quarterly, half year. I'm thinking of using them quarterly, half year book. But I also got a full year book, and I'm hemming and hawing over how to use each one. So, because I use my little rings, they're teeny tiny little rings. They're very, very skinny little guys, in here. It wouldn't hurt to not have this page in here. It's not something I have to flip through every day. I do like it with the month of stuff, but it would be with the month of stuff here. So just a little prelude to some of the planner prepping thoughts I'm having. So yeah, so I do have the pictures done for this. I waited because Monday, I do all my photo stuff on Sunday, but Monday was the last day of the month. So I waited to finish that, and that kind of threw me off my printing schedule. So I need to get through and do that. I also need to go through and do my wrap up, of the month. Then I go into weeklies. Before the pen, these weeklies are behind, the schedule page. And actually, let's see here. Let's move these over here too, because that's just an example. So normally the current week is on the schedule page. So then I have a tracker that I keep in here. Sometimes I'll throw notes in the pocket that I'll keep, but this will be the current week I'm on. And then all the weeks to come are back here. As the month goes on, the week will move to here. The one that was here moves to here. So in this case, we're done with the month. So all of my weeklies are now reunited again in the front of that tab. I do tab the weeks. This front is for appointments. I usually keep this side as work appointments and this side as personal appointments or must do on that day tasks is what I've started to add to there. In this case, if there was a bad air quality day, I just happened to use this space to document that. I do sleepover dogs. I have dog trainer for the day job. And I also mark when I have those guest dogs by just a little highlighter streak and their little names so I know who's here. Because depending on the dog that I'm watching, I can go out longer. I can take them with me. I might need to just hunker down at home. Some choices. On this side is the meals. It's meal prep and then meal history. So in meal prepping time, I do Post-it stickers that I have pre-done of very common meals that I have. So I can go through and pick the meals I want, but then because they're on a Post-it, I can adjust as life lives. But once the day is done, I write in what I actually did make and fill it out for it. So I believe this is that first week, right? So I could go back and guess, but for whatever reason, I could not remember what was happening on the 7th, what I'd end up having. It was a complete blank. And then I could go back. I keep track of my walks in my app, so I was able to go mark that as a habit. So this one was sort of a post-done week. And then I had the first daily that I did was that Sunday. So I don't have dailies for the first 7 days of September, but I did start on the 8th. These are inserts I do make myself. I take some of the artwork from Cocoa Daisy and print it with this layout that I've designed, and then I add the weekly sticker, my own transparent month sticker, and a weekly or a date dot from the kits. I also make these weather stickers, and so I do a little weather time. This one, again, first day that I did anything at all, so it's missing a few subjects. But I have, I'm trying to think if I should zoom you in maybe. Ooh, let's try that. So here, those subjects. So I do mood stickers. I'll show you on another page. I pull a tarot card and I write something that's potent to that card that it brings up. I have top tasks, so the must-dos of the day, or just even an important note of something. Chores that I would like to get done, work that I would like to get done, personal that I'd like to get done, and then down here is the daily meals. So on the weekly, I only keep track of dinners. On the daily, I keep track of everything for the most part. When I'm naughty and all that kind of stuff, it gets on there. This particular, I think what happened is I cut my Tomoe River paper a little too thin. And so when it printed, it looked like it printed beautiful, but then when I went to punch, that's where I've got this lineup a little bit messed up, and I'm not happy about that. And then this side is just a timeline. It's got from 5 a.m. all the way until technically, midnight would be next on that little jot. And I just go through and fill it out. Again, this one is a very basic day, pen, paper, done. As we flip, there's one more description to do. I have a weekly wrap up on the back of every Sunday page. So a Sunday page has a weekly backup, or wrap up rather. It's just a few prompts of things to go look back through the week, a little bit of a sum up of the week, a little bit of a rate of how was that week overall, a few questions just to prompt some of those thoughts and to just acknowledge what honestly happened. It's actually really, really interesting to go through, because you might have a week where it was a bad week ended on a high note. I just happened to have that. So I was like, I really wanted to give it a lot of stars. I'm like, wait, the whole week actually wasn't great, but it ended nice. And then vice versa. I've had times where I'm like, man, I just didn't get anything done. But then when you go and actually dissect it, you can realize that, oh, no, you did. It's just, it just feels like you didn't. So this whole section is the wrap up. And then this is the setup. And so it's my prompts of things that I do to set up the week, and a few questions that if I do my wrap up in the middle of the day rather than end of the night, help get some juices flowing and some ideas and help prep me a little bit better. So I'm working on that timeline. I also did just a paper, just a piece of note paper for my brain dump. I just titled it Walk Through. That's one of the here. One of the wrap ups is just to do a walkthrough and just see, you know, what needed to go on here. And so I just did a cute little page and just jotted everything down. You'll see how I actually tweaked this for future weeks. So like I said, my rings are just a little tiny. So, and I do keep these cut pretty thin and the paper's real thin. So a lot of times I have to flip everything to flip it when it's all chunky like this. So that's one reason I don't know that I'll miss not having that monthly in there. Here's another week. Again, you know, a highlight note of something, an adventure, then work. I do the weather. I do the weather on a Monday. So this is the predicted weather of the week versus the daily weather that is more accurate. I do it in the morning, so obviously it can still change. They never know what they're doing, but all right, now here again, meals. I do have a little weekly note section that I can just jot a few things that are must-dos or even ideas that pop on the week. I'm now using the little weekly walk through brain dump inbox. That's what I started calling it for some of these, but this is a week where I just used up that whole section. I do have habit focus. So these are the top habits I want to make sure I do work towards. I've decided that if I reach if I do them every single day, I'm allowed to take them off the next week and add a different want to do. If I have gaps, it has to get added to the next week. And so it's an interesting little brain game I'm playing with myself right now. We'll see how it works. And then down here is my weekly chores. So I have a routine list that has yearly, like it was clean the blinds was one that just happened recently. So clean the blinds happens once a year in September, and I can put that on a week that I know I don't have that much going on. In this case, this was my monthly routines of, okay, we wash the bedding every other week. So it's not a weekly, it's just twice a month. It gets put on here. So they're varying months. Certain weeks get a lot, other weeks don't get a lot, but it just helps keep some of that going. And I have that in my reference book that I move over when I'm setting up the week. Here's a daily that I did accomplish a few more things. So my morning mood and my evening mood, I represent that with these emoji heads from the Coffee Monsters Co. I have the thin sheets here, I'll show you. I've got them on a convenient little clip, and so I can pretty much just go and scroll through them, and I'll stop on one that I'm like, oh, that's me today, and stick it down. I have the little tarot cards, so I can mark which card I pulled and a little bit of a note about it. I will also have these event stickers. This is how I put on there for my lessons, my appointments, in this case, a phone call or a Zoom that was on there. I do meal stickers to mark my meal times. I happen to have the good YouTube binge, so I just marked it. I have a sticker for that. And then these walking stickers are another one that I do a lot. They're just, color circles that I end up drawing the paw print on, because I can use the color circles for various things, but mainly I'm using them for that right now. And then a little bit of just more arrow deals kind of came in this time. Some notes. It was a busy day, filled it out in all the ways. And you'll see that same thing happening here. So we've got, when an appointment is canceled, I have a few stickers that will cross them out. It was canceled, and then I ended up watching the debate. So that was it was so long. So I had the debate section there. I tried to use one of those stickers, goofed off a little bit. And then here's a busier day. So I had a few different lessons. My class didn't happen. So you've got that. Likewise, and like I said, they're little, and sorry for the camera shaking. My new phone's a little heavy, I feel like, for my tripod. Just another day. I am using these little car stickers. I really started liking doing that to mark when an appointment has drive time. And then I started adding a little bit of the drive time notes for some of them, because I actually think, like this one, this one was it's 30 minutes to actually get there. It's one of my longer ones. So I think I did that one first and was like, oh, I like it. And I put it on a few of the others. So that's been really fun to add little cars. I went and pre-ordered a new phone. So I marked that down with a little bit of highlighter and a sticker. And then this one, I had a few notes to make on some shopping stuff I did for my phone. I actually could go mark it down that they're here. We had another fun time. This one was marking another spending situation. I used these bigger conversations to mark, these times like we had good chats, and that's what I did for that chunk of time. And that was kind of cool. And then it was a Sunday with a wrap up. Now here is a fun one in my weekly. Again, sorry for the jumbles. Regular appointments, appointments and to-dos. And then I had the expo, got to go check out all the fun things at the Oddities Expo. And so if I have something really fun, I'll make a big, bold decoration for it. And I really like doing that. It's fun. And then I also reminded myself that I did like to add a little bit of that decoration. So these are just the translucent stickers from the kit, and just slapping that in that sort of spread there. I still haven't nailed what I like to go there. So a little bit of color, a little bit of interaction. I also remembered that I like to do, so here's a good list of things that I needed to get done this week. The ones that are highlighted, not only is that the day I want to do them, so I'm like, when I'm prepping my week, I'm hoping I'm going to aim it for those, but those are ones that are on my yearly checklist. So when I get them done, I check them here and I go, oh, it's one that needs to be checked off on that yearly checklist. And that worked really well. A little dot is the weekly one, or the monthly item. So that way it's, I know it needs to be there, but there's nothing to go right off on that one. Then here's what I ended up doing for my walkthrough inbox brain dump situation, is I just made a tiny one. I just did pencil lines off of, actually, I think I matched these lines. Oh yeah, I did. For it, because this page is thin enough to match it. And then I just stamped and wrote, and had a lot of room to write a bunch of stuff, and I really, really liked it. And I've got all these small Tomoe River papers from making my own inserts, like cutting an A5. It just had extra, and so I happen to have a whole bunch of these, and this gives them a job. And so that's what I did here, is just made a whole list. Some of these things I wrote down during the weekly setup. Other things came up during the week, and I just kept a whole thing. And then now I've added reviewing this and either moving the stuff to the new list, moving it to an official list, or just, of course, marking it off if hopefully it got done. So that way, when I put this list in the front section here, it's done. I don't have to look back at this. Everything should have been processed on this list. And then he comes right out. I happened to do a video that time, so I had a video note, and I just decided to stick it on there for that. And then we've got more dailies, nothing really wild. They all have, there we go. I added a few more items. So I did film. So I marked the filming, I marked the editing and the upload to YouTube, and then I actually added a few little fun photos, just happened to cut out stuff. Everything that I wanted to do this day chores-wise didn't happen. I ended up having to go change my work schedule, so I knew that I had this arrow sticker from the kit, and so I used that to mark that they all were getting scooched over, and it was kind of nice. The expo, I also marked on my dailies as something fun. I got a few butterflies while I was there, so it was great to use that sticker from my stash to mark it. This day, oh, okay, this is a Sunday, right? Yeah. So this was all the things I didn't get done chore-wise. So I really was like, you're getting up, you're cleaning, you're cooking. I put on good music and just dove into it. And so because I'd already had the list on another page of things to do, I just blocked off and I liked to, use the box. It was really pretty. So, and then added a few washi guys later on, in there. Another weekly review, another week set up. Then I added a few more items. So I did film. So I marked the filming, I marked the editing and the upload to YouTube, and then I actually added a few little fun photos, just happened to cut out stuff. So I knew that I had this arrow sticker from the kit, and so I just used one of the stickers, filled out. Here is actually, this guy's supposed to get put away. So this is the example of the meal plan Post-its. So I just take these guys, I stick them all in these squares, and they're all ready. The grilled cheese ended up not happening this week, so it got moved. It actually did get moved. Oh, I'm in a new planner. What am I talking about? Here. Okay, here, hold on. No, I'm gonna stick it right there. If we lose it, we lose it. Let's redo grilled cheese. So yeah, so it got moved down here when I wrote down the last of that, because yeah, I didn't do grilled cheese. I got taquitos instead. I did the same highlighting routine here. And actually I need to mark that one because I now did that in this week for October. So there's a couple things I need to update in here as well. So we're not quite finished, hence the monthly review not being done as well. I did the same exact inbox. This is also not complete, so this is a good time to video apparently, because I dove into my next back in time, October book, and look at that, there was a few things that I didn't finish before I moved over. I was too excited. So yeah, so I'll go through and process this inbox and finish marking off a couple of things here, but I did the same thing with the skinny one. This one I tried stamping the lines instead, and I don't love it. Yeah, I don't love it. I'm trying to figure out if I can make it like a printable, but these can't run through the printer, so it has to be, it's a whole thing. I do have more lead for my pencil. I ran out of that, so that was one of the reasons. Another daily. I started using some of the Coffee Monster Co.'s teeny tiny stickers, and I really started to like those. Let's do that. Some busy days. Again, work, crazy, lots of things, notes. A little bit calmer, but just kind of keeping track of things that are going on. Obviously that day I skipped my tarot. I played around with my little printer, so I just happened to slap one in there because I did it. And just like that, you blink and another week is gone. And so yeah, so then this week was funky because you only had one day in September, and so I did the day. I did a weekly because it was already set up for the day, but then I was debating filling out this one with the rest of it or starting right over and then keeping them separate. I ended up keeping them separate, but look at what it did to me is I haven't finished any of my stuff. And like that, did I make Castelletta that day? I think I did it. No, Tuesday was Mom's, what's today? Thursday. Mom's birthday was Wednesday. So yeah, I must have made Castelletta here. I'm just going to stick this here for a minute and I got to finish that on the end. I got to combine these two. I got stuff to do. Started using, this was my last of my meal tab stickers. So I started using the Coffee Monster Co. ones. Yeah. And then I just happened to have, this one happened to be printed twice. So that's the end of the dailies. Planning dailies that are in there. Like I showed you these pages. I do keep, this is my daily bookmark. I had lunch ideas I wanted to keep reminded of, so I kept a sticker on that, or sticky on that. And it's cut through as well, so I can just move it through the days. A notes one, this tab was not behaving itself, so it got sewn on. This bookmark was in my Sterling ink, and then here is the parts that I wanted to film this video so I can move these over. This is my sticker sorting daily guy, and so I've got weather stickers, event stickers, the scripts for the events, icons that I use, and then the front I keep those little dots. And then I've been keeping those meal stickers in there as well, but now I'm out of those, so I got to figure that out. For it, I have this pen loop page. I sew the Cocoa Daisy pen loop to one of the backers that are nice and thick for the highlighter. I have a couple of them with different colors to match certain kits. This is like the basic one if I don't have one that matches. And so that's the one I'm using right now, and we'll move over to October because I don't think I have one that matches October. Then this guy is typically only filled with my wake up and my go to sleep, my sun and my moon, which I also moved to the not Cocoa Daisy, the Coffee Monster Co. So my tarot cards, my sun and my moon, which were my own sticker. No, were honey inked. That's why I went to these ones. Is I was using honey inked teeny tiny little suns and teeny tiny little moons. Apparently they're no longer in company, which is sad. And so I used the last of my suns, and so I moved to these suns and moons for that. And then I have a whole bunch of the other tiny icons. So I decided, since I was going to add those, to just put them all in here, and this envelope is thick enough to hold them. And so those are in there. And then I'm still dating my dailies for October. So these are in there right now because I don't have them all dated, so that I know where those stickers are real fast. I made this from one of the Cocoa Daisy Kits envelopes. I just cut it and recut the flap and moved the sticky to another spot, and it works great. It's punched and it's in there. Then this is a oops cut folder from some shop at some point I've had forever. I keep the stencil and my ruler here with this iced coffee card that I made. Just a nice, it's very sturdy, so it's a nice last page, and then useful to hold those things. Now new, again, look at that. Cover is amazing. Gotta love a good TWSBI that matches. Sterling ink. So this is my first sterling ink cover. I've been a Stalogy gal for a long time, but I've been struggling with full year, half year. I've been cutting out the quarter year. It's been a whole thing, and just, yeah. Anyway, I don't know who I was following, what I was doing. Someone posted the common planner. I saw the undated one is a prep for the dated ones, and decided to try it. And so this is the half year undated common planner in B6 size. So normally I cut my Stalogies a little thinner for my tabs. This one doesn't really work out to cut it because of the weekly pages. So I'm using it in full force. It's been going well at this point, and we'll see as it gets even more tabby, because my custom tabs I make are a little thinner than my whole tab ones, and I can tell this one's already getting abused, so I might just have to glue them deeper or cut them shorter for those style, because these ones seem to be working just fine. It has several pages that I have not used yet because I got it to play around with it, and so I just stuck some stickers, but I did make a note of having this be a goal breakdown page. There's this particular YouTube video I have saved that I really liked what she did, and that way it would complement, and I'll probably switch. I'll have vision board, goal breakdown, and then this is also a goal breakdown. Whether I'll change that to put this here, I was watching the video as I was doing things, and it was amazing. I gave me so many ideas, but it was one that I need to watch it and take notes, study it. Put a few stickers with some ideas of what goals I could put here and then do breakdown. Again, it's just something I need to really take the time to dive into for it, and that applies same to these quarterly pages. So I did sort of make a bold statement for September of resetting and getting started with this stuff, and I do feel like it did good, but I didn't really know where to take it from there. So you've got a quarterly spot, and then the 3 months that go into that quarter, and then 3 months that go into the quarter. Now in this undated one, you can date them however, so I only filled out September since I got it in September, and then I did October, November, December. I accidentally did it that way. Oh my gosh, I put December. Wow. Yeah, I really messed it up. So yeah, I was going to leave that one blank, but then I put December there instead of here. Oops. Well, this is my trial book. You're going to see some ugly pages in here because that's the whole point, is that I got it to play with it. But I haven't quite. I want to do something with the 12-week year. I've listened to that book. It's been a long time. I haven't got it. I got the sticky strips to date these with the days of the month, 1 through 29 or 28, 31 stickers. So you can make a habit tracker. You can yeah, block it. There's just so many choices. So I wrote that. That's all I got. I stamped that and I stamped it wrong. But then I've got a bunch of blank ones in here. Now the monthlies, likewise, I went through, I was practicing my stamping. It got a little messed up on that one. It got really messed up on this one, so I covered it. And then this one came out pretty good. I ended up really liking doing a quote a day. I have a ton of quotes saved. And so I actually did a project either earlier this year or last year. I don't remember when I did it, but I printed out a whole bunch of quotes and cut them on little strips of paper and folded them up and put them in a jar. And that's on my desk. And so this has been fun to pull out one of those quotes and then write it down. And so it just kind of gets the juices flowing. I can see my pretty colors and my fountain pen inks. It was really fun. And I didn't finish it strong because I really started journaling for some reason at my kitchen table, and then out in the yard. So I have a plan for pulling my strips, pre-week as I'm setting up the week, so that I have them in my to-go bag, in order to not miss any more days, basically. But anyway, it was fun. It was a nice thing. It's just kind of a way to fill this up. I'm debating again, where should this go? So if I really use the half year, I would probably use it as a quarter year rather than a full half year, because I can fill it up a little bit with more project pages. So if I do that, I'm contemplating having using the monthly page as more of a planning. Like this is my, will this be more of a planning book? Anyway, there's just a lot of ideas going through my head, but I do love this. I just think I might put the quote one in the yearly book is all I can say out, because it's just so much thicker. Sorry, as I lose it, here it is. So this is how thick the yearly one is. And so I do want to do my morning pages. This has a page for every single day, which I find nice. And I think we're still a little zoomed in. Let me zoom you out. Here we go. I picked the same cover, camel cover. The pages are super thin and awesome, but it does have a single page, So one page September 1st, one page September 2nd, throughout. So I'm hoping to actually do that, my journaling pages every day. So if I do that, I am contemplating putting the quote page as one of the months. And then, like I said, maybe doing the memory pictures here. I don't know. I'm going to play with it a little bit, but I might be ended up combining some of my monthly plans in here. And oh my gosh, now I just remembered I was thinking about doing the feats from my happy planner, but then I bought a happy planner. Thanks. Okay, but I did that. I did quotes for September. I don't have any plans yet for October. I just tabbed it and it's ready to go that way. Now my weekly tabs are giving me a headache. I make all these out of transparent sticky paper. I color code them to match the Cocoa Daisy theme, and I love them. They're great. But I have October in here, and you can't tell. Yeah, so I have the Coffee Monster Co. I had extra ones, so I used them to divide the spots as we get used to this planner. So yeah, I have October in here. And technically, I can reach here and I know I'm grabbing the month, but I can't see that I'm grabbing the month. And then I have all the weeks back there, but likewise, I can't see that they're back there. And I don't know if I like it. So I'm contemplating doing just the numbers and making teeny tiny tabs, because then I bet you I could fit the 3 months if I did this as a quarterly book. So that's my newest idea. But right now I have these weekly ones. I use those same weekly tabs on my weeklies in here, and they work great. So that I think I'll keep those ones, and then I'll make matching just numbers rather, for these ones, so then I can see all of them. So, but this month, this is how I had it set up. I had to rearrange them just a little bit for it. And then, oh, sneak peek. Okay, so October monthly, don't have anything planned. Let's go to, so it does have enough months for the whole year in this 6 month. That's where I'm contemplating using multiple months for the same month for a couple different projects, because I'll have extra if I do it as a quarterly. For the weekly pages, and I realized that I got to put my tabs on the flippable page. I was supposed to flip here and then open and use it, and I don't do them that way. So I end up having to move my tabs to here, so that way I can flip to it. And Skylar, what are you chewing on? Thank you. Can I have that? Puppies. I like that I did the washi page top, and I like these, the numbers. I haven't been using those numbers from the kits. And then the transparent daily pages have worked, or daily stickers have worked great. Did a little bit of stamping practice. Like I said, you're going to see just randomness, because that's what I did, is that, again, started the book right here. So I went back to the day before and was like, okay, if I timeline, I have my timeline over here. Another timeline. Do I make this timeline with the then sticker timeline here? So that's just what I did for those couple days. Then I attempted to do color blocking. So I gave the colors some designations. I liked, again, that top part worked out, and I really liked what happened with the circle and the numbers. So you'll see this on every week from here on, because I really liked that. Note to Cocoa Daisy, I need more of the numbers, please. The clear, transparent, clear numbers I need more of, because this worked great. So I tried out that. I didn't love it. So it worked like nice for these ones. And then I had to cancel this, and I really didn't like it. So I don't know, like having it just be the preview. Anyway, tried it, didn't like it. The sticker, Skylar, leave him alone. Sticker version of the day, kind of highlighting some key things, didn't like it. Little brackets, just marking stuff down, just trying it out. It just wasn't doing the thing. And then I remembered that there's a gal who posted in the Coffee Monster Co. group with her Hobonichi, and that's kind of what this is like a faux Hobonichi Weeks vertical spread. And I remember her posting hers where instead of following the timeline, just kind of ignoring the numbers, and she did blocks across. And so I played around with it a little bit on a Monday of like, okay, if I did this, and I think I like hadn't done anything. I was like, okay. And I found her pictures in there. Maybe I can tag her below. But then I really went, okay, let's do this. And I kind of played with the different options. I had a sticky note with like the categories and what they would be. And so I've got, AM, body, house, goals, work, mind, PM. And then I ended up reordering them because I like AM, I tend to do my mind stuff early. Body should be important. House should be important in the next category, work, then goals, and then the PM down at the bottom. I happen to have extra room these days, so I used this. Oh my gosh. If y'all didn't get the gold pen from Cocoa Daisy's kit, you were missing out. It didn't bleed through at all. Like there's, look at that tiny little bit of ghosting. Like you can hardly tell. And it is a thick pen with tons of shimmer. I couldn't even believe it when I was like, all right, let's test it. And yeah, didn't bleed through at all. So those are, I'm not a gold person per se. It's a nice gold, but I saved it for October as well because it's gorgeous. And so yeah, so that I really ended up liking it. But then I was playing around a little bit of like what, this one I filled out with that plan of what was, that's all that cleaning stuff. So that's why I didn't write the list here, is I'd already written it here. And I wasn't sure I loved it that way of like, I'd like to fill in the whole week prep because I know if I get a busy day, I'm not going to fill it in for the next day. So this one I set up a little bit more pre-week. I also added the mood because someone again in the Coffee Monster Co. group had a brilliant idea that we have this itty bitty little washi tape that has the heads on them, and she used the heads as emotions. And so this is kind of another quick mood tracker amongst it. I may play with like an AM PM color system, something like that, or 2 dots on it. But right now that's just when I'm filling it out, kind of the overall of the day. And then the sleep quality tracker, or hours. You could do hours in bed, you could do quality, you could do bed times, wake up times. Oh my gosh, guys, thanks for the jumble. Sorry. The dogs are saying you're done filming. Oh yeah, 44 minutes. Yeah, we still have time. Okay, and then I just did this little project part down here. I did do a little like subject on the top, highlight of like a thing of the day. I like it. It's cute, but I'm not going to probably keep it up because this week it really kind of stalled out. And I think this is more productive habits than memory keeping. So I'm swapping that just a little bit. But it was nice. I did, like I said, got the order down. I really seem to like the order. Playing a little bit with what exactly goes on here on the weekly stuff. But it was a really nice spread and honestly helpful, very productive. In the case of this week, I actually almost forgot to take out the trash because I had made a cake for my mom's birthday and I had a ton of dishes and I still have a ton of dishes. But when I was filling this in, I was like, oh, I need to do that. So it actually saved me from missing the trash this week, which was nice. And how pretty is this? So like I said, I don't have a sticker for this meh, and that like threw me off. And so I'm going to figure out whether I'll just move the AM column up or move the Monday part down, or we'll figure out what to do. But I don't care for it. Love the washi, love the dates, love the sticker. The adding the this week sticker I think is fun. The little columns worked out great. I think I might move them over, but we'll see because those can only scooch so much. That was the end of the month, so I kept the washi piece to it. That sticker is from the last month's kit, and then I swapped washi, did the stickers from there, but then the week stickers I did pick from the October so that they did match, and then changed obviously the Tombow color that I'm using for this month. Still playing around with a little bit on the house chores because like the routine of it all. I did kind of figure out the shower stretch swappabilities. Do I want them all to match perfectly, or do I not mind when, like here, when it ends up being on a different line because I only had 1 task to do for work this day, but then I had 2 tasks to do this day, and then I can't quite figure out what I want to call my category of this. So like main to do, I had the goals, it could be projects, ideas there. So I'm still playing with this, working out. Once I really figure out what I'm gonna like, what's working for it, I will probably take the same inspiration from the gal who shared this spread and print out the columns of things just so it's a little bit neater and faster to put together, because having to write all this, one, I'm using a lot of ink, which is fine. It's not the end of the world, but having to write it all out, it does take a chunk of time to get this all set up, versus if I have the stickers for all this, I can do my highlighting very quick. I can do my dots really quick, and I can put those stickers on there and move about my business. But I'm going to play with it for the rest. Well, I don't know if I'll play with the rest of October, but maybe. The plan would be to have that nailed down before opening the 2025 system. But it's awesome, and I'm glad to find a job, for this spread here. And so all I did just now before I decided to film was I did that top date piece for all of it. And so I like what I did here, where I switched the washi to the Halloween washi just for Halloween. So they're just washied and dated, and that's and tabbed for ready on that part. And that's when I was tabbing this and rearranging them, and I'm like, ugh. Yeah, but I think the tiny ones is going to help. So we're going to do that. We'll try it for next month. And then it goes to the dailies. And in this case, I knew I wasn't probably going to fill out the whole thing anyway. I'm trying things. So I have both my morning pages and various spreads, like this theme page, which I love. It came out so amazing. So I did, this stamp was part of the kit. So I did the Tombow pens with that. I learned about doing this little squishy thing with ink, with this little bobble guy from a video. And so I did that. This is where I tested the zebra pen and found that it only does a little bit of ghosting. Technically, this is all a test, testing my stamps, the inks, which did a little bleed through, but that is a lot of ink. Then I ended up doing the washies. I made new sticker pens, pen stickers. And so put the ones I'm using for the month there, which I thought was kind of cute and fun. I made a note about the dry time on the inks. This is Tomoe River paper, and so it took a minute to do that. And so I bought some blotter paper to keep on hand just in case. My mild liners that I picked, and my Pentel Touch pens, brush pens for there. So it just came out just so lovely. And I've yet to do October's yet. I did pull my Tombows and my Pentels and my highlighters. I've got those pulled, but I haven't picked my ink yet, and I haven't done my stamps or my washies. So I have some catching up to do still. Okay, then this is an example of just a morning page, just scribbles. Here's another project page. Now, the nice part about this being an everything book is just being able to dive right into this. I didn't have to go grab a different book. I could just sit there and get started with this. I did tab it because it's a project I'm working on, and so it's my whole memory keeping situation for it. I did this project, stamp project. I started a little bit here. I ended up doing a little bit notes just after my morning page, and I did finish this one, which was awesome. So the doing it like this, getting it on paper, getting back to my planning and my journaling has felt so good, and I did get some stuff done, which is awesome. This was a very fun page, starts to a page rather, to mark that I filled up a new pen. And then I just did my morning page afterwards, put in a picture that I took on some clear transparent sticker paper, did a little decor and some page. Here's another project page for next year's planning ideas. And so just a few of the thoughts that were going through my mind. Another project spread for my miles. I've since fallen off of it a little bit, so we got to figure out that. That auction win book, that was a fun day of spending too much money on that. Here's another, so just words for a whole thing, and then I did extra. Now I'm wondering if I didn't date the wrong page. Thursday the 11th. Friday the 13th. Yep, that's the wrong date. And sometimes you have oopses that you don't even know are oopses until you flip through later. But then I just did, this was a fun, very proud of my youngest dogs. They went and helped me, and so did a little mini anyway, mini Polaroid, and just decorated up and put it in there, and then dated it wrong. I doodled a little bit on that day. I added pictures. This one I did another of that pen spread when I got the new Iris Twisby Irish green. Then I did a tiny little weekly wrap up in here for the day. Didn't get a lot of sleep, so I just did that. Here's my weekly pictures that I typically do. Like, I've done this project, it just doesn't, like, some of them, because I don't have journal pages, are sitting in a stack, so I'm trying to figure out where to put them. And so I just started putting them back in here. I'm not sure if I love it in this one. It's kind of, I don't know, it's weird. Pages, random notes, thoughts, pages, random notes. This one was more of a highlights of the day, which I ended up wondering about, because I don't have a lot of note room on my dailies in here. Like, it's more functional of what, the timeline of what happened. And so I can sometimes add a little bit of note, but I can't really I don't have a lot of space to add just this thing happened, or I bought this, keeping those tracks. So I'm contemplating of having that as part of this page. So like honestly having that, let me get back to it, having this with maybe a little bit of thoughts be the pages that go in here, and then the project pages go in here, and then here is where the main like full scribbly, that's a project page, but the full, these ones, so the full scribbly pages, just a day of that in here. It would help not thickening this up too, because I won't don't do a lot of decorating, just fill it out with pen, which is how I started doing a few books. Then a project page was to mark all of those emoji heads that I showed you on the stack. So I do have a little bit of a faster way to look at them sometimes. I'm trying to figure out if I want to have them like labeled. Right now I just rearranged them so they're in this order, and that's already helped because I can be like, oh, the sad ones are together and the sad ones fall after the medium, so that kind of, that's helping a little bit already. And then I did the tiny stickers just because I was at it. Obviously they ended up being so tiny they didn't really cover anything of the page, but it's a thing. And then I've got just more page. This is one that I was talking about of like, this is a both. It's just random occurrences of the day, and then a little bit of the journaling and this happened to have decor, and I think that was the picture that I took, and then did the little pictures for the daily. And I think I like that. I really think I like that for this book. And I know I follow a few Instagrams that I constantly adore their imagery for that. This one I ended up getting my stencil back out, little decor. This was the expo day, so I got to wear my witch hat, and I took a picture of my haul. Used that gorgeous gold pen again. Sunday, I did a pre-decorating for that day, a little top and bottom, filled it out, and then I took some really fun pictures on the morning hike. So I just wanted to give them a little space for it. The end of the week photos again, coming in here, and then I think we start slacking off a little bit. So, this one, slight decoration, a little bit of words, a project page that I didn't end up filling out, started it but didn't finish, a big picture. I got a stupid little printer, and I'm calling it stupid because this is the only picture I got to print before it decided it doesn't want to print at all. So I gotta start figuring out fixing it or sending it back. But anyway, I let my Josie go. So third dog that I put down this year. So bad year, y'all. It's not been fun at freaking all. And so, yeah, I took this picture, I put it on a random page, even though it was a couple days later that we did this. I just had a blank page. I only wrote that much, so I just started right from there. These pictures were actually from last Thursday, so I printed them. I ended up messing up that page for I put the emoji heads. I was going to put that here and talk about it, and I ended up doing that. It was a whole thing. So I just slapped him in there and made it work. So, but my really pouty puppy, he really wanted to go for a walk. And then he was really happy when we went. Another page, I got another pen because I didn't like the nib situation going on. So I got a smaller nib, and that ink worked way better with that nib. And then the diamine ink worked way better with this nib. So excuses to buy more pens. And then I played around with making stamps or stamping ink, stamping pads for stamps with fountain pen ink. I saw someone do it, and so that's what this is just me playing around with, like, okay, they were a little wet to begin with, so then the first stamp, second stamp, third stamp of the same, like, ink, boom, 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 and then did the same thing, and then I worked with the alphabet on there. Same thing here, played around with it a little bit. This one really didn't work, but it worked okay with the lettering, so it was kind of interesting. But yeah, so I just played around with that, and that was my page for that day. Same with this. I played around with my photo printers again, and an app that makes them kind of cartoonish, which was fun. Had some ideas I got down, and then I think that's the last page that's in here. Yeah, I have a tiny little scribble, and then that's it in here. So now I got to start getting my October crap together for it. But that little book, that's another reason that I'm contemplating doing another sterling ink over Astrology, is that I don't have to make those spreads. The spreads are done. So I can do those weekly, monthly spreads in there, and then I can have my room for just my daily jotting notes and such, and it fits right back there with all of my rings. And this just wraps up beautifully. This cover's very squishy and loose, but it just wraps up together really nice. And then this guy would live on my desk, probably in another cover, because I have a bazillion covers, so I'll probably put them in another cover. But then this big one for the daily page would just live at home, while this is my goes everywhere, with me sort of book. Anyway, look at that. An hour went by. Oh my gosh. Well, that's a heck of a flip through for y'all. I will try and get this edited real fast and up, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And, get yourself inspired and set up for another month. And hopefully we'll end this year a little stronger than the beginning was okay. The middle was just, my March through August. Even September, you can March and through complete of August was a lot. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this if you stuck around for the long chitty chats, and I'll see you on a next one. Bye.